pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I'll call to order the Morgan Township Trustee Meeting, July 11th, 2022, 7 p.m. Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
All right, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from June 27th meeting?
I'll approve the minutes for June 20,
I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve the minutes.
Okay.
June 27th.
Who's making it?
I'll make the motion and then,
All right, you're making it as written?
yes.
Okay.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And I have a motion to approve the warrants.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment listing dated 6/28 through 2022 to 7/11, July the 11th, 2022. Warrant number 422-2022 through 443-2022, including warrant 444-2022 and 445-2022 through 449-2022. And voided warrants are 450-2022 and 451-2022. Including additionally, warrant 452-2022 through 458-2022. Also, payment number 11452, voided is 11453. Continuing with the approved is payment 11454 through 11480, a total of $71,924.84.
I'll second that.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, I'm going to turn this section over to Tina for the budget hearing.
Okay. I just need to know if there's any questions, or does anyone need to know anything? If not, we'll make this resolution here.
All right. Any discussion?
No, it's all ready to go.
Okay. All right.
You want me to read?
Yeah, you
All right.
guys have to, I can't.
Okay. Approve the 2023, I make a motion to, a resolution to approve the 2023 budget to adopt the tax budget and make the temporary appropriation of funds for expenditures for the fiscal year 2023 commencing January 1st, 2023 pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code section 5705.14, 5705.28, 5705.29, 5705.30, and 5705.38 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Second?
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved. Thank you.
All right. We'll go to the Township Administrator, Chief Galloway.
All right, first on the agenda tonight is, number one is the American Rescue Plan money. So Governor DeWine did sign that. I received, I think Tom did as well, received the acknowledgement that we did receive what our second funds will be. They will be distributed into the account sometime mid to late July is what I read. So the second round will be $307,515. That is the additional $1,223 that we received when other townships didn't use their money and it was all divided up amongst the states. So with that, the total in the account will be $581,539.75. Number two is, so State Road 732, the road running through Riley Township, the direct link to Oxford. That bridge at the Riley Pizza is closing on the 18th for 80 days. And that's going to greatly impact the fire department and I think the residents of the township going north and south. There's no easy way to get to Oxford when that bridge is out. So with our folks, a lot of our patients request to go to Mac Hyde. There'll be some significant delays in that bridge closing for 80 days. So that's just an FYI to the board and then the township residents that are watching the meeting. I called today, and ironically, it was the day of the Butler County Commissioners meeting. The commissioners today approved the 2022 projects for the CDBG grants, and the Race Lane project was not approved by the trustees. By the Board of Commissioners, sorry, excuse me. Second, though, is in your packet. I did ask the lady who runs that program now about sidewalks, kind of just getting ahead of it a little bit with the request that came in from the Shandon folks. And you can see in this list here with the highlights over the last 4 years, they have supported in CDBG grant funding for sidewalks. So, and pretty significant amounts, 130,000, 146,000. Fairfield Township, 106 and 19. And City of Fairfield, again, 124,000 and 199,000 for sidewalks in College Corner. So they do it. I confirmed today that it's not just repair of existing ones, it is for new sidewalks. So with that being said, there's an avenue there that we can approach once the state gives us their recommendations on the right-of-way as an option for sidewalks. So
We have gotten some inquiries about that, especially down in Shandon where to connect from town out toward like Chip Gettles and that, because it's part of the Strawberry Festival, and thought it'd be easier to make it more safe and convenient for people to walk to the small, what is it, the
small town
printing or
embroidery or
right.
something like that.
They
Place.
actually had an open house up there during Strawberry Festival. And
Yeah.
it was, so it was,
And
there was some concern about safety with people walking up
absolutely.
there.
And some of these projects are where the sidewalks are also ADA compliant. So there's an avenue there that's out there.
So
as
is
an
this something that you would write this, or would you get your,
I would probably write this one. I think I can
Okay.
justify it for
maybe
the
talk
safety
with,
and all that.
the Strawberry Festival Committee, because they were going to come to a meeting and actually talk about it. So-
I think.
They
Oh, they did?
Oh, they
Okay.
did. Oh, yeah, they did. That's right. The meeting you weren't here.
Okay,
They
all
did.
right,
Yeah,
okay.
Mark and those folks from the.
I heard from
Yep.
Chip that they were,
Yep, they did.
okay,
I think
good.
the biggest thing is really what the state, our input, and I don't know if Rod talked to the state folks, his contacts, but the right of way, it's so steep there with the drainage ditches there, it's so steep that that'd be some improvements made before you to even consider that. So because it's a state right of way, I think the state would be the lead on it, and in this case, I just located a grant that we could use as a township, but Rob, I think the state would be the lead on it, wouldn't you, since state right-of-way and highway.
Yes. You got to get approval from the state
Yep,
first.
yep. So it's just an avenue on that part of it, so. Okay, that's all I have for administration tonight. I will move over to the fire department side. Number one, I need a motion to hire firefighter EMT Brandon Newton at $17 an hour, effective 7/11/22 with a 1-year probation.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Do we want to mention in there about volunteer?
We can, I forgot to mention that, but
Okay.
yeah, he advised me that he picks up a lot of time, so I think between volunteering and picking
Okay.
up extra time, he'll be very well for the department. Lenore, what was that?
It's 99.
99, thank you, thanks.
I thought yours was 99 for the budget.
Oh, it is, I'm sorry. I didn't write it down. I'm sorry, 100.
Got
You're
it,
right.
thank you,
Duh.
thank you.
I didn't write this on here.
Next, I registered with Motorola the radio encryption keys that we talked about a couple of months back, or maybe a year ago, to extend the life of the current radios. So it's $138 a radio that we're going to be done in September. And that will extend, it's going to be some programming and some encryption keys that they'll keep those current radios still working for at least 2 more years, potentially 3, but at least 2 more years. So with that, I've been talking with Mobilcom and Motorola, getting some prices on the new radios, but this encryption key will keep the radios working for another 2 years. So, which would be good because the newer radios are astronomical right now. So hopefully in 2 years they come down to state pricing. So a portable is $10,000 or $12,000 right now for the brand new radios. So, third, just to mention, we have, and it's been on all our websites and Facebook pages, we have a CPR and Stop the Bleed class on August 3rd at 6:30 p.m. It'll be over at Station 141 unless we fill and get more people than that room can hold, which I think we already have either 5 or 6 that have signed up. So
Is Penny teaching that?
Penny
Chief?
and Lieutenant Schroyer. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, the 2 of them will be teaching that. And tomorrow I've got scheduled to go down to the elections office and do the EMS levy, filing of the levy for the November ballot. Everything that we did according to Mary Nan Nardiello, myself and Tina have got all the paperwork and the filing and all that, so I'm going to be going down there tomorrow with filing that at the elections office for the November ballot. And other than that, unless you have questions for me, that's all I've got tonight, except for Chief Griffith's report. Okay.
Okay, January to June responses. In June, we made 43 responses. It keeps us up 23 from the same period last year. Our average response time out the door was 1 minute and 19 seconds, and our average travel time was 4 minutes and 27 seconds, both well greater than 90th percentile. Ross Township did make 1 transport for us because, as it always goes here, we have 2 at the same time, and our 1 squad was in the shop. So we couldn't have made it. We had the people, we just didn't have the vehicle to do that. But now the squad's back, so we're good to go on that. And that's it, unless you have questions. Okay.
And I failed to mention Mr. Newton's application is in your
Right,
file.
I saw it.
So, yeah, it's in your file to review.
Then the next thing I have is one Tina always likes. EMS grant, because it's so, the priority 1 EMS grant, we were an awardee again. And I guess the state troopers weren't out giving seatbelt fines because this is the lowest in the 25 years I've been involved in grants I've ever seen. We were awarded a whopping $703.29. So they said due to COVID, they just didn't hand out any seatbelt fines. So there was no grant money to give. So, I mean, $700, we'll use it. I have it spent by tomorrow, but hopefully they're out giving more seatbelt fines because everybody kind of depends on it because it's usually $4,000 to $5,000. But $703, so we'll take it. But we did get awarded that, and I'll spend that tomorrow.
Okay. All right, we'll move on.
We're up again.
Is it up for the park board? Okay.
Park Board.
Okay. Lots going on in the park board. As anybody just watched the previous work session, the park board meets tomorrow night at 7 p.m. here. We'll have it on the website and YouTube, but anybody's welcome to come. We have a speaker tomorrow. She's speaking about building inclusive playgrounds. She actually has a doctorate in playgrounds, which I didn't know existed, but I'll go with it. I guess you can get a doctorate in anything. So she's going to come talk to the park board. The reason for this is that we have a pretty significant donation that is on the horizon to build a playground here in Morgan Township. Trustee Kolb and myself met with the potential donor on, was that July 2nd? July 2nd. And answer the questions and explore the options. So that has forced the need for a master plan to where to put the playground because we got to know where to put it. So we've had discussions, and that was in the previous meeting. We have 240 responses now, and a playground's still running about 3. Number 1, still a walking trail. Number 2 is some sort of shelters. And number 3, and then a couple was a splash pad. I said, nah, we ain't getting a splash pad. Somebody wanted a dog park too, which I'm all about dogs, it'd be great, but dog park is way down there.
Get the fire hose out there, maybe.
Get the fire hose and make a splash pad. So we'll be meeting tomorrow, and we've presented to the trustees the bids to get a master plan done. And that's kind of where it's at, but the way the board feels is they can't make any more progress till they get a master plan. And I think they expressed that in the previous meeting that we just had, the work session. So, other than that, we'll keep moving forward with that, if there's any questions.
I talked with Tina, and she's gonna do some more investigating to see about adding a line item on, in UAN for Park Board, and then we will not only be able to track our expenses for the Park Board, but then be able to pay out of the ARPA fund.
That way we can,
So, we'll-
because
we'll
there's gonna
find
be
out.
some, okay, that's perfect, because I think, I'm hearing there may be more donations available. If we can really render this park and show people what their money will be spent for, I think I'm hearing there might be more. And I don't have a confirmation, but I've got a phone call to that effect, that, there could be more that could possibly go towards a walking trail if we don't have enough. But, the board feels they need a master plan for more than one reason, but that's their feeling, so. But if you want to hear about playgrounds and inclusive playgrounds, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we'll have our speaker. They just want to make sure that they're educated on these.
You're gonna record that? put it
Yeah,
on
it'll be on
website?
it'll be on YouTube, and
Okay.
I'll put it on the website too.
All right. Anything for Park Board? Mr. Bram, Road Department.
I have a few things here, just keeping you up to date of what we've been doing. We're finishing mowing roadsides. We finished building the fence back to dead end of Chapel Road. That project is now complete. The county should be finished with Northwind Road. I say Thursday, but they think they'll be done tomorrow, actually. We have 2 ditching projects, one on Morgan Ross Road, one on Lehigh Road, and the one on Lehigh does include a new drive pipe for an individual, so we can make the ditch so it drains better. Where Bob Sandlin lives there,
Bob, you know,
right there at the top of the hill there.
up top, yeah,
before you-
from Dennis.
Yeah. Those are gonna be going next week, and then
Where was the water going into Dennis's yard there, or off the top of the hill down?
well, number one, it wasn't getting into the drive pipe of Bob Sandlin's, and it washed out across his driveway, and then it come out on the road and ran down the road, and then come back into the ditch, filled the ditch full of gravel, and then in turn was going over the hill to Pettit's, down over the hill.
Got it.
So we need to clean that ditch going down in front of Pettit's up there, and his pipe's all plugged up and stuff, so we're gonna dig that out and put a new in. He's gonna buy the pipe and stuff, and we're just gonna do the work, so.
Bob, Pettit?
No, Bob
Sandlin.
Sandlin is buying the pipe.
Okay.
And then also to everyone to remember, August 2nd is a special election. The Community Center and Administration Building will be used for that Board of Election meeting. Which
already on the
one
calendar.
One of the things is the school board levy. I believe that's it. I thought I had something else, but I believe that's it.
All right, anything for Rob? No, we'll go to zoning. Dale Marshall?
All right, if you looked, we'll start out with the 2 zoning issues that I spoke of in the last meeting. The construction of the pond, it's basically completed. They did kind of meet any kind of standards that we had in terms of the setback. So it was resolved. The concern about a possible non-conforming business on Sloss Lane, I had sent out the letter, got a response from the owner of the property. She stated very equivocally that there had been no business being run there since they bought the property 5 years or so ago, and everything else. So therefore, since the business had been grandfathered in before, because it was there before we had zoning, and it's been more than 2 years, therefore there cannot be a business on the property any longer. Okay, but I also told the owner that too, and she said she understood. So that's been resolved. If you look in the certificates, you'll see that I have the second quarter summary going on. The total up through June 30th is for revenue, which includes both lot splits and the variance of monies that we received. Is the total for revenue is $6,525 through the year so far. The 2 sheets in below One of them will show you all of the certificates for that 6-month period. The sheet behind are the splits or consolidations that have been done, giving you the information that I think you might be aware of and need in terms of what's happening. The biggest one that I want you to be aware of is is the one on Cincinnati, California Road. Don't be scared of that one. The gentleman is going to take the few 4-acre lots that are listed there. He's going to sell those. The other two, the 30 acres, they're going to be their personal property. One of them is his son's, and the other one is the owners, the current owners. So it really will not be a large development coming in there. All right. All right. The land use planning, the final copy will go to Butler County Planning, hopefully on July the 15th. That's this Friday. Once we get that back, then I will speak to you guys to be setting up a public hearing for that to be the first reading. We need 2 public hearings on this, believe it or not, so that we get as much input as possible from the public in terms of approving it. First one will be to just go to reading of a resolution to approve it or disapprove it, send it back to us and we'd work on it. And the other one would be to finally pass the meeting, so, and everything else. But I still have to do legal notices for all of those. Oh, my battery went out, so I'll have to.
You probably got them.
Got batteries?
Yeah, I'll get it. That'll be fine. We'll just do it this way because I don't have that much more. The zoning commission meets next meeting is August 3rd. They too have received a copy of the new land use plan and will recommend sending it to Butler County Planning. Okay, but I'm going to send it on anyway without their recommendation. On Wednesday, I will be attending the Butler County Soil and Water Planning Meeting and Luncheon. I was sent a invitation to that. On Thursday, I will also be attending the BCTA meeting hosted by St. Clair Township. That's it for me.
Okay.
And for Ted, Ted's out of town today, but he did, I think he CC'd you guys on the 4439 Howards Creek Road. The fire department is very familiar with this property and the gentleman, and he got the letter filled out today, and we'll get with Dale and we'll send that thing off to them. So.
Okay. All right. Anything for Dale? Nope. Nope. All right. We'll go to Tina for fiscal officer report.
Okay, I gave trustees a copy of the email that we received from Chris Brucker regarding the Vonage telephone service. One of his questions was, did you guys want to move the fax lines currently that are Cincinnati Bell, AKA Ultra Fiber, to the Vonage contract? He said it may give him some leverage to try to get the price back down, because evidently since they weren't given a 90-day notice that we did not want to maybe renew the contract, we're stuck for another 3 years.
Right.
So I didn't know if you just wanted to make a motion to continue the contract. I didn't know how you guys did that with Vonage in the beginning, so.
On those fax lines, those have to stay with Cincinnati Bell per the fire alarm
I thought.
backup.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Those cannot change,
Okay.
because it will not work with Vonage, that being that computer thing.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I
A
thought.
voiceover.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, no on fax lines already. Okay,
I don't think I mean, we can make a motion, but
oh,
we
no, you don't have to.
we
I don't know what you guys did when you first got
Yeah, we
this,
don't,
so. Okay.
we don't have an option. I mean, we.
No,
that
you
we
don't.
don't.
Not at this point, no. Also, I just wanted to let you know that I gave you a copy of it, on the reverse side of the bill, they sent this little notice from Alta Fiber that your contract is up with them September 2nd.
Okay, what exactly do we have? That is.
That's
the two
Cincinnati
fax-
Bell.
Yes.
That's
the-
it was
the
Cincinnati
fax
Bell, it's a
lines.
new name.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Alta Fiber now. Because
Right.
I called them and said, hey, if I send you, they said, no, we want you to start putting Alta Fiber. Okay.
So to my knowledge, without talking to Chris directly, I think the only two things at Cincinnati Bell we have left are the fax lines.
That's it. Everything
I
else,
don't think we have
everything else
anything
is
else that's
Spectrum.
Spectrum or Vantage.
So what do we have to do to extend that contract?
Unless there's a
I
phone
don't
there.
It
know.
will renew automatically
will.
It
for
renews if we don't
12
contest
months.
it.
All right. Okay.
It'll renew automatically. If you don't, in writing, be 30 days prior, tell them that you are going to terminate the contract. So you can just let it go. All right, let's move on. I need a motion to approve adding $121.13 to Fund 2901 in the Revenue and Appropriations budget for 2022. It was for the ODPS training and equipment grant reimbursement that was received in 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved. Also need a motion to approve adding $336.46 to Fund 1000 in the Revenue and Appropriations budget for 2022. It was for 2 BWC checks received as refunds.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved. And also a motion to approve adding $1,222.78 to Fund 2273 in the Revenue and Appropriations budget for 2022. It is the extra ARPA distribution of unclaimed funds from last year's payment.
So moved.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved. And then I gave you a copy of my summons for penitent jury. I
Okay.
did ask to be excused.
Well, you might find out when you call the first day,
Okay,
but they don't usually follow up.
okay. And that's all I have.
All right. Anything else for Tina? If not, Mr. Huff.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Mr. Cole?
The only thing I have, I wanted to just hit one more time on the Strawberry Festival topic and the sidewalks. Last, in the notes, or in the minutes, we had the Ron's son, BJ, and Chip, Gettle, and Mark were down here. That is part of the fire department fund, and they were, since some of the folks weren't here, they were very interested in, for the safety aspect of trying to look at sidewalks for Shandon. And one of the comments was that they would be willing to, they were so in favor of that, they would be willing to shoulder some of the expense of that project if necessary. I think we could probably go another direction, but that's just the level of their desire to see that Strawberry Festival grow and evolve. But one thing that we did realize is there's no way we're going to have any sidewalks in by next year. So is there any chance of closing Cincinnati Brookville Road to traffic and to reroute around there?
No, there wouldn't be. The only options would be as a shuttle or something. I mean, they do that fire truck shuttle now, but shuttling a larger vehicle, a bus or something to shuttle them up and down. But the state would never close that road for that. It's we couldn't do that. But a shuttle service or something like that, possibly on a bigger scale.
And I'm thinking, what do we do to try to make sure that we're safe down there? We're posting the signs, short of putting a police car out there on each end of the 126, and we're being able to write tickets. But if somebody gets injured down there during that festival, it would be horrendous to see that.
Well,
So I think we've got a year to think about it.
if someone gets injured, it's gonna be game over, so that's what you are looking at. So that's what they're looking at. That's the reason why they're willing to put money forth, is they understand that's a huge liability for people walking up and down the
But
road, but
Who is our insurer for that event if there is a
Well,
liability accident?
we, the township, are not
Obligated.
not
also.
obligated at all, because we're not the ones putting it on. It's the Shandon Civic Association, the ones that put it on.
So this,
So it's their insurance company that'll be on the hook, and that's why they're pushing for this, and,
Right.
you know, and we should be too, because we don't want to see anybody get hurt.
well, this is what happened down in Harrison at the Pumpkin Festival, is they increased their insurance premium so high, they had to move that Pumpkin Festival off of that current site down by the airport. So that could be a very real thing for the Strawberry Festival, and then we have none anymore.
Right.
Nobody will touch it. So unless we can get a good workaround and ensure that safety, I mean, we've been very fortunate. The shuttles have worked great, the signs have worked great, but that doesn't mean it's not gonna work good next year.
Another thing that has been approached to me about is there needs to be 2 designated crosswalks in Shandon. One close to the 748, 126 intersection, need to have a designated crosswalk. And then one up by the post office, needs to be another one there for people to cross back and forth. That would help tremendously, instead of having people trying to cross all over up and through there.
And we talked about that at the last meeting with them. I think the biggest, I don't know what the Shandon Civic Association's relationship is with the sheriff's office and that mounted unit, but that mounted unit is doing nothing but patrol. If they took and used those to actually direct traffic or help cross people across the road, would be more useful of that than riding up and down the street on their horses. I'm just saying, I mean, that's the safety person in me. But I think you're looking with the meeting with the Civic Association on a short-term and a long-term solution. I think the short-term is, what do you do for next year? You get larger buses and you move the people, you know, with shuttle buses up and back and offer that service as you're going for the grants, working with the state on the right-of-ways and the sidewalk for the long-term solution. That's my thought. I mean, short-term, there's fixes there for the next year, and like I said, the shuttle service would be probably, you know, that fire truck's great, but it only moves like 10 to 12 people at a time, and as we saw there was hundreds, if not thousands, walking up to Munch or to the museum, that
Small
town apparel, all that stuff. They were up to there to say, you know, you get a 2 60-passenger buses and you do it that way. They've taken more precautions by doing that, because you can't even close, even if you. I know the state would never even close it, but your alternate would be Alert New London, and that's right in the middle of the Strawberry Festival anyway, or you go all the way around. But the state would definitely not do that. We can't even get them to close down the road for a bad wreck. So yeah.
So who will take the lead
I
to
will
reach
meet.
out
I don't
to
mind meeting
ODOT?
with ODOT. Rob has a connection for ODOT. I don't mind meeting with the Civic Association with Chip and Mark down there and all those. I don't mind meeting with those and start having some short-term meeting plans for next year. But Rob's got more of the connections with the ODOT folks.
And I tried making a phone call to that Bree. I guess I'm gonna have to do an email to her to be more official than just a phone call and leaving her a voice message. So, because that day that I called her with you, Jeff, I have not heard back from her yet, so.
Rob and I did have a chance to go down and talk to the Ron and the BJ and the folks down at the Salty Dog, and just let it follow up on that meeting that we had the session prior. So they're all in. They want to be partners in whatever we can come up with. We got a willing audience down there.
We'll just set some meetings up with them, and I'll go down there and set some meetings up with them and just talk about short-term, long-term, so.
Okay.
Yep.
That's all I got. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, I got 2 things. Want to see if we can schedule a work session at 6 o'clock on July 25th. Talk about our internet and email accounts. That's going to come up real quick. So everybody okay with 6 o'clock on the 25th? All right. And then the other thing I would request is an executive session. Everybody good with an
Let me
executive
back
session?
up to the 25th, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I might be out of town on that day.
Okay.
Can we confirm, can I let you know
Yeah,
and
I
settle
mean,
it, firm it up?
do you want to change the trustee meeting, or you want to just go without it, without you?
I mean, we could change it. Your call.
Doesn't matter, I mean,
Okay. I'll let you know.
Okay.
But we might not even come to be,
Okay.
as far as out of town.
all right. I'll make a motion to go into executive session at 7:35.
I'll second it.
Wait a minute, I gotta read this.
Oh, yeah.
For the wrong one. To discuss the consideration of the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official at 7:35.
I'll second it.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, we are in a break for executive session.
No, I have a feeling yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to come back in, out of executive session at 8:01 PM.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, this time, make a motion that we appoint and / hire Joseph Pauls to fulfill the unexpired term of Tina Cox, who will be retiring as of September 30th, 2022. She will stay on as a as-needed basis. My battery's gone? Or yours is gone? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll try this, okay. So Joseph Pauls will be start date of August 1st, and will be paid as a part-time employee until he takes over the role of fiscal officer October 1st, a rate of $25 per hour.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes?
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay.
Are we giving that a resolution number to
Yes, please.
104?
Yes.
All right, anything else?
None?
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion approved.
We are adjourned.